In 2018, Bob Legasa and his hunting buddy Greg Gibson ventured into the hills with bows in hand for a fall elk hunt. This day became an unforgettable experience for both Bob and Greg.
As we both yelled bear, Mom, the sow, turned and just straight at me.
This is Bob's inspiring story of survival of a bear attack and the importance of using the right tools when exploring Montana's bear country. Bob, a native of Idaho, is a passionate outdoorsman who loves skiing, photography, and most importantly, hunting. Since the early 2000s, Bob has made it an annual tradition to embark to Montana for an archery elk hunt with friends. Despite all hunting trips being a memorable one, the morning of October 13th will be one that he will never forget.
The afternoon before, we had located some elk in some sagebrush into the open, and we just knew that we couldn't put a play on them with the wind, the time of the day, and also the sagebrush. So we made a plan the next morning that we were going to go in down the road about a half a mile, hike up on the side of the hill, which is sparsely vegetated, and have an elevated view kind of up over the top of the sagebrush and see if we could locate the herd again. We get up next to a tree. Elk are bugling. There's probably about 2 or 3 bulls in there. We make a plan, let's go forward about another 100 yards. Literally took 2 steps away from where we were standing, and since I was out in front, Cub reared up, growled, and took off the other direction. Immediately, as we both yelled bear, Mom, the sow, turned and just straight at me. So by the time that she was halfway to me, you know, not very far, probably 7 to 10 yards. So I basically just stood and kind of thought that I could kind of protect myself at least, and I think that I tripped. And when I tripped, I think that softened the blow as she grabbed me with her jaws and fell on me. And I was on my butt, and I kept scooting backwards, kicking, blocking as she was swatting and trying to get at my head. Then she let go of me, and she reared up, and I remember sitting down, looking up at her and like, that's all you got? Yes. And then she dropped down again and dropped down, this time on my right side. Her head was literally 2 feet away from me at the same level. Mouth was open, and when I turned to protect myself and be prepared at that point, I could see my hunting partner, Greg, and he blasted her with the bear spray. She took off running, and at that moment it dawned on me that's why she let go of me at first. She went for him afterwards because he was the other threat.
Bob ended up in the hospital for a week. His arm was broken, requiring a metal plate, including numerous stitches on his face and arm, almost losing both his eyes during the attack. Although this experience was traumatizing, Bob and Greg did some things right. They hunted as a pair, and most importantly, something we reiterate a lot at MontanaFWP, they carried bear spray. Without this vital tool, things could have ended differently. Despite being left with a few scars, it hasn't stopped Bob from enjoying the outdoors.
I don't take it for granted. I'm 63 years old, and I look at every elk season as enjoy this to the fullest. We don't know what comes next, you know. It's life's pretty short, and this is, for me, my biggest passion. You know, I live for this.
For more information on how to be bear safe in Montana, please visit fwp.mt.gov/bearaware.